on the card, and the gift will be delivered to you.
You stand a chance to win microwaves, water dispensers, fast bags of rice, cartons of noodles, airtights, and loads more in the Lafarge Buy and Win promo. See posters for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Lafarge, building progress.
Smooth.
When my day has kicked off
What?
and I'm moving through
Yeah,
the
you
bustling
can.
city of
Yes,
Lagos,
please.
I've got the radio.
And
To
you
keep
can
me
speak
company
into
for
this
a selection of
microphone.
smooth
Yeah.
music on Smooth 98.1. I'm smooth like that. I am Udoka Oyega.
Feed your mind, and the rest will follow.
Okay, how do I pronounce your surname?
ABA.
ABA. Okay.
So
Dr. Cynthia.
Dr. Cynthia ABA, consultant physician,
Healthy
dermatologist,
mind, yeah.
Healthy body,
General
healthy life.
Hospital, Lagos
Soul
Island.
food
If you
on
feel like, or
Smooth
just say
98.1.
you might not need that detail.
Okay. So General Hospital, right?
General Hospital, Lagos Island.
All right. And we are set to talk about your health and wellness. Well, this morning you can call it your skin health and wellness. However, it has been shown that what it is that you eat, feed your mind, also reflect on your skin. So it's still part of the general wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Soul Food right here on Smooth 98.1. It is a part of Breakfast in Bed that runs every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. However, Soul Food runs from 8 till 8:30. So that tells you to not move an inch, because if you wink, you will miss out on important details of the conversation. So just sit down, tell your family and friends to be a part of the conversation. If you're streaming live, tell them to also stream live with you, or you just share the link with them. It is youtube.com/smooth 92 FM Lagos. Again, smooth 92 FM Lagos. That's the YouTube channel. You can also listen live to us via the website, or you search for Smooth 981 FM on any radio streaming app or website. So once you just see the blue and the red telling you that love music, love life, yes, that's us, and you will click on the listen live option and listen away. Okay, so I have said it a number of times. Let me tell you again that we are talking about skincare habits you need to change, especially as touching the topic of product overuse. And to do justice to that this morning, answering my questions beautifully, is a beautiful woman in the studio who you can attest to the beauty if you're joining us on YouTube. Her name is Dr. Cynthia ABA, and she is a consultant physician and dermatologist at the General Hospital, Lagos Island. Good morning.
Morning. Good to be here this morning.
Thank you so much for coming in bright and early.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can as well just keep to the part where we dive into what product overuse exactly is. I mean, there have been multiple reports by experts that said that product overuse is fast becoming a thing. Now, on the one hand, if you consider the statistics and the data from 10 years back to now, you'd see that there is an increased awareness of skincare use, and people pay more attention to their skincare regimen. You confirm that for me according to your experience. But then the other side of it is a product overuse, because as much as people are getting better with their skincare habits, it looks like they might be overusing this. So to begin with, do you agree that the data and statistic that says that people are using more skincare product is a thing, or is true?
I quite agree with you. Nowadays, sometimes you go into friends' bathrooms, you see so many skincare products on their shelves. Even on a day-to-day encounter with patients in the hospitals, you see that they use so many. Sometimes they don't even pay attention to the particular ingredients in the skincare product. So sometimes they might be using both of the same ingredients, to achieve the same thing. Sometimes you have some people in their daily skincare routine, they might have like 8 products in the morning, 8 products at night, which I think is far too much. So way to go about this is to keep educating people about it, and try to cut down on using too many skincare products in your routine.
Okay, you mentioned something that a person might be using more than one product that has that particular ingredient, right? But
Yes.
before we even go to that, how did you think people got to that point where they have so many skincare products that are unnecessary in their bathroom?
Okay, so I would say the first thing is a lot of people, okay, they ask from friends. They
Mm.
ask their friends, oh, what are you using? What new skincare products? Maybe if they see how the friend's skin looks or her face, they end up buying the particular product that that friend is using. A lot now, we have the people are exposed to social media as well. There are all sorts of products on social media being marketed, saying that it does this, it gives your skin a good shine in 3 days, you look bright in 4 days, and all of that. So that's sometimes some people try a particular product and they're quite impatient. They don't wait for the product to actually kick in, and then they move on to the next product just to achieve that quick response that they want, So by the time you find out this person has become a skincare junkie, all sorts of products on the shelves. And usually with skincare, it's said that less is more. You can achieve more by actually using less. So by the time you use so many of this product at the same time, you just end up with a blotched and irritated skin, So that is it.
Okay, so to the other part, the question I kept on the shelf. Now, what are some of those key ingredients that a person might be using two or three products that has that same ingredient that they need, but they are not aware of it? So, for instance, if you want to choose a cleanser, which I do have a question on, by the way, a cleanser can a normal soap be regarded as a cleanser? And then the cleansing solutions, we still have some of them, right?
Yes.
So, what do you typically call a cleanser? Because to a layman, it could just be your soap. It cleanses your face, right?
So in terms of cleanser, so in choosing, I would start with this by saying that in choosing cleansers, you need to identifying the skin type is very pertinent. Okay,
Okay.
does the person have a dry skin? It's not one stone fits all. So dry skin, oily, or a normal combination skin. So in terms of constituents, what do they contain? The cleansers, we have some that contain glycolic acid, salicylic acid, lactic acid, depending really on the skin type. Some of them, what they do basically is to also exfoliate.
Mm.
Okay, so depending on the skin type, which you need to actually see a skin care expert or a dermatology to actually identify what products to use, as opposed to just picking anything off the shelf. you know
Okay, just to be clear, do you mean a regular cleanser can also act as an exfoliant?
so a regular cleanser, no. So it could, some cleansers have both exfoliating and cleansing, so it depends on what you decide to get. For regular cleansers, some might just be simple enough for sensitive skin and not have that exfoliant, but some of them might have both the exfoliating and then the cleansing aspect as well.
Okay, so because I'm trying to help somebody who has no idea of all the skincare terminologies to
Okay.
understand these things,
Okay.
let's take it back again.
Okay.
What exactly or why does a person need to exfoliate first? Do you need to exfoliate when you already cleanse your skin?
So for the exfoliation, basically, you need to remove dead skin cells. Actually, the skin has a normal 28-day cycle, okay, where new skin is being formed after that. So in exfoliating, you find a lot of people, you need to exfoliate at least once in a week. It's okay.
Okay.
But you find out that some people exfoliate almost every day on a daily basis, which it's not right. Okay, so you exfoliating once in a week, yes, it's good. You could remove the dead skin cells. Exfoliate twice in 2 weeks is still okay, as opposed to doing it every day, which a lot of people do. So
Well, we can as well get into the side or the adverse effects. So if a person over exfoliates, what are the adverse effects?
over exfoliating, you can have an irritated skin, so you can have the skin looking red, itchy. Okay, you can also have breakouts. We call it in dermatology, we call it an irritant dermatitis. So you can have more breakouts. Even you could have more acne breakouts too as well in those people who over exfoliate. Okay, and then you could even have them having red blotched skin,
Mm.
and it doesn't really look, and dry. Sometimes it gets so dry and bad. So getting that, you find a lot of them, it's actually one of the we see them a lot when they present to us in clinic like that. And then when we tell them, okay, what are you using, you find out so many products on the table, some of them containing the same thing. So what I really think is a problem is they need to pay particular attention to the ingredients.
Mm.
They need to meet a specialist or a dermatologist so as to guide them what particular ingredients would suit a particular skin type. So sometimes, for example, you might find someone using glycolic acid. So he might have about 3 different cleansers for different things and all containing glycolic acid. And they're using it, okay, my friend recommended this, the person picks that up. This one doesn't work, she gets another one from the pharmacy, so all of that.
Why would a person think it's not working? A product is not working? What are the, is there a particular duration a person is supposed to wait before you conclude that a skincare product is not working?
So ideally, in starting a skincare product, we always say that give it some time, give it about 8 weeks, 12 weeks. By the time you give it about 12 weeks and it's not working, or sometimes even as long as that's 3 months, yes, you could wait for that before you say particular skincare product is not working. But here, a lot of times you find out some people wait for 1 week, 2 weeks, and they just conclude it's not working. But they haven't actually given this product time to kick in
Okay.
so as to say whether it's working or not.
Okay, to the other side is how you know a product is working. Let's identify some of the common products that you might see now on the shelf. There is retinol. I think it's gaining grounds, right? And a
Yes.
number of people seem to be using it more.
Yeah.
What is a retinol meant to use or achieve in your skincare routine?
Okay, so retinol or retinoids, okay, they are vitamin A derivatives. What they're meant to achieve, they target different things in terms of anti-aging, okay? They help to target hyperpigmentation as well. They also have anti-acne effect, so they help with acne as well. So those are part of the basic things, the retinol. But we find out that sometimes it's applied wrongly for some people. In terms of the retinoids, ideally they should be applied at night.
Why is
Okay,
that?
because they can get photosensitive, and then they can cause they're photosensitive and they can cause irritation. Or you find out some people apply it in the afternoons, they're not told, especially when they just get it over the internet, get it from the pharmacies, they're not really told how to apply this product. So a lot of time they come back with irritated skin. Another thing in with retinol is that in introducing retinol, for example, as a dermatologist, I try to start with the lowest strength. Okay, start with the low strength, introduce it gradually, and see how my patients tolerate it. Because some people have really sensitive skin, and they might not be able to tolerate a higher percentage of retinol. So, for example, you could say, as opposed to using it every night, start with alternating it. So use it alternate nights and see how your skin kicks in, or use it 3 or 4 times a week. And then if you're able to tolerate it, why not? You could step up the percentage or step up the frequency of usage as opposed to just using it. So you find a lot of people say, oh no, I break out with retinol, I don't tolerate retinol. Why? Because if you probe for that, they haven't used it rightly.
Okay, so
Okay.
what is the difference between retinol and vitamin C? Because I have seen few questions saying that they think they achieve the same thing, especially when you reduce the fine aging lines on the face. So is there any significant difference between retinol and vitamin C?
Yes, like I said before, retinol, actually they're retinol is a vitamin A derivatives. Vitamin C is vitamin C on its own. So in terms of similarities, photoaging, they both target photoaging, but in terms of similarity differences, they're both two different things. For example, I wouldn't use vitamin C to target acne. Meanwhile, the retinoids actually target acne as well because they help with they have anti-acne effects as well. They could also help in targeting the pores, the pores as well. And then for the hyperpigmentation, both of them target hyperpigmentation. Okay. So basically that.
Okay.
Yes. So
I want to confirm something. So, a person once posted that you shouldn't be bamboozled by those people who are trying to sell their product, and that a person's pores, if you have large pores, naturally it cannot become small. Is there any truth to this?
naturally, without using anything.
Yes, the naturally, if you have large pores
Mm.
and you now start to use a product that claims that it will help tighten your pores, that it is no, there is no such thing. Just the same way it has been said by some people that stretch marks do not get removed by the application of creams.
Yes, I quite agree with that on stretch marks. Yes, it doesn't get it could improve the appearance just a bit, but it doesn't take it off completely. So talking about large pores, I would say these products just help with shrinking, but as opposed to the pores shrinking back on their own, I don't quite agree with that.
Ah, all right then.
Mm.
Well, we'll take a short break, a breather, and when we come back, we will still be talking more about some of the things you need to be on the lookout for when you start to overuse a product, or better still, when you know you have started overusing that product. You're listening to Soul Food right here on Smooth 98.1. You can send in your questions, by the way, and you can call in to join the conversation. If you want to send in your questions, you can send them to WhatsApp. That is 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. While you can call 01 448 9981.
This is Mr. C, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1 for music and more.
Conducting a test of the entire system.
Turn your radio on and get with your favorite program on Smooth 98.1 as you start your day on the Smooth Breakfast from 6 a.m. and get served a perfect blend of news and entertainment from around the world.
Next, right up.
Next, right up. It's 3 hours of soulful music from 10 a.m. to get you through your mid-morning while you work to pay those bills. And it's music on the menu come lunchtime from 1 p.m. as we take you on a musical journey around the world across borders on the Casbah to help you discover new sounds and places. Now, for that smooth ride back home after a hard day's work, we've got you covered on the Drive Time Show from 4 p.m. It's everything and more you'll ever need. So, while you lay back, let the smooth sessions from 8 p.m. soothe you away into the night with the finest of smooth R&B. And even more on the weekend for the smooth experience. So get with the program on Smooth 98.1.
Come on now.
Now, back to our regular scheduled program.
We are your number one contemporary radio station.
Love music, love life. Smooth 98.1. What did it?
Exactly, that is what it is. You're listening to Smooth 98.1, and the show right now is called Soul Food. Every Saturday morning from 8 till 8:30, we talk about your health and wellness. And this morning, we're talking about your skin health. You can join the conversation by sending your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. But if you'd like to call to ask your questions and let your voice be heard, literally, you can dial 01 448 9981. Again, 01 448 9981. We're streaming live on YouTube, by the way, youtube.com/smooth91fm Lagos. That also allows you to be a part of it by dropping your comments using the live chat option. And lastly, you can go to Twitter at smooth91fm is the handle to tag. Hashtag soulfood91. Tag the handle at smooth91fm and we will take your thought. My guest this morning is Dr. Cynthia ABA, and she is a consultant physician and dermatologist. All right, if there are some of the things that we have established before going on the break, I'll just like to recap and you can tell me if I have gone out of line. Number one is that before you start to use a skincare product, it is important for you to consult your dermatologist for you to identify if you have oily skin, normal skin, or combination skin, right?
Correct.
Oh, very good. And then another one is that chances are that if you do not do or that consultation, you might be using multiple products that have the same ingredients.
Very true.
Okay, and so there are some ingredient that you need to be on the lookout for just before you put. Well, that's true. It's a dermatologist that will tell you the product to purchase, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
So
all right, so that helps you to avoid the pitfall of spending too much on using the same product. And also, when it concerns overuse of exfoliant, you might start to break out, right?
yes.
All right. Now, coming back to that product, the right routine or the right way you should apply the product, because for instance, you mentioned that retinol should not be used during the day
Yes.
because it makes you photosensitive.
Yes.
Okay, before we get to the use of sunscreen, uh, what exactly is the correct routine if a person has some of this? Say you have your cleanser, you have your toner, which what's the difference between a cleanser and a toner, by the way?
Okay, so a cleanser, what it actually does is to cleanse. So remove the dirt, remove the grime, remove the pollutants. A toner actually balances the pH of the skin. So it balances the normal pH of the skin. So that's what it's meant to do. So I would say that ordinarily it's in someone who has normal skin, I don't think the person has to be overburdened with using too many skincare products. Like I said earlier on, less is more. So a simple skincare routine is to use the cleanser, use a moisturizer, I would say, not necessarily using a tone as well. So you could use a cleanser, use a moisturizer and a sunscreen. So for some other people, you could still do a cleanser, a toner, moisturizer, and sunscreen.
That's
So it's
all.
still that's all. So the sunscreen is something that is very imperative. You can't do without. I mean, it's something that has to be in your skincare routine. Okay, which a lot of people neglect, and I keep on emphasizing sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. So the sunscreen has to be there, and that's the last thing. So
Well, it's a good thing again, going by some studies saying recently there was also that was conducted by Dr. Falakemi in Lassuth about this use of sunscreen, and it looks like people are increasing in their usage of sunscreen.
to be sincere, a lot of skincare people who sell skincare online, Instagram, even the pharmacies, a lot of time they get sold out on sunscreen. So a lot of people, I think, we're becoming more aware, because back then it used to be that, oh, dark skin, because we have the protective pigment melanin, we don't need sunscreen. But now people are becoming more aware that everyone, men, women, children, we need to be on we need to have use sunscreen, incorporate it into our daily routine. So another minimalistic approach to this is that, in order not to get overwhelmed with using too many products as well, you could incorporate like two things to target to achieve one thing. What I'm saying in essence is that you could have your moisturizer and your sunscreen incorporated. So there's some moisturizers that have the sunscreen incorporated in them, and I would say using a sunscreen with at least an SPF 30 is okay. Another thing to note is that in terms of talking about reaction, what we're talking about, too many skincare products, you also find some people who react to some some particular sunscreens, like the chemical sunscreens. Yes, so they can come down with itching, redness. Some of them don't tolerate it, and what they really react to is the avobenzone. It's a chemical sunscreen, so there's a constituents. That's why I said you really still need to speak with your dermatologist. So there's a constituent in it which they react to. So for people like this, we advise them to get the physical sunscreens. Okay, so looking out for ingredients like zinc oxide in it, titanium oxide. So they could do with that as well, because we find a lot of that.
Thank
Okay.
you. Emeka from Ikeja says, please let the skin doctor know that the pharmacists do advise buyers the benefit and side effect of their product, as against the impression that pharmacy shops aid wrongly some buyers, especially as it concerns retinol with different brand names. Well, it was not mentioned that they aid the wrong purchase of it. What she mentioned is that it is now available in some pharmaceutical shops. So it's not as if they just tell you to buy it outrightly, but they also educate you, which is a good thing. But most importantly, the first person that should come to your mind when it concerns your skincare product should be a dermatologist. And let me circle back. I want to assume it's the obvious, but more people are booking appointments with their dermatologist without any skincare issue, right?
You're very right. Some of them just want to know, okay, look, I need to have a skincare routine. What skin type do I have? They just need a normal where it's getting, a lot of people are becoming more aware. Yes. So I would say even with the pharmacies, yes, some pharmacies tell them, give them instructions. Some people just go and buy from pharmacies, without particularly knowing how to use it. We've seen a lot of people like that come in. So they use it in the daytime. I'm talking about the retinol. So use it in the daytime. The percentages, they might react to it, So we just try to educate them and then tailor it down to what they can tolerate sometimes.
Okay, so as we gradually bring this to a close, there was a time I got a moisturizer, and it was stated on it that you shouldn't use it for your face. It's just for the body. There were some, like you mentioned, some combination that could work for your body or incorporate sunscreen protection factor or sun protection factor rather. But what are the possible reasons why a person should not use a body moisturizer for a face moisturizer? As a face moisturizer, because when you mentioned men, chances are that when it concerns body care, there is the multi-purpose. Use a particular product for your body, your face, your head. No, just exaggerating, but you understand what I mean. So uh what are the things that you should be careful of when you're choosing a moisturizer for your face and your body? Can a body moisturizer serve as a face moisturizer?
For me, I always say no, no, no. I don't. Some people do it, but I mean, a facial moisturizer is lighter. There are specific moisturizers for the face. By the time you're using a body moisturizer, which can come thicker and all of that, they might contain basically almost the same ingredients, but the facial moisturizer is actually formulated to be lighter than, so you can have your body moisturizer clog your pores, and all of that. So I would say that I don't advise using a facial moisturizer for the body. They're two different things.
Thank you. Just for someone who has no idea of these things, or you wonder why would you want me to spend more on getting a moisturizer for the face and moisturizer for the body? Because like we mentioned while we were on off air, some people think that skincare is expensive, which I think you have already debunked that myth, that it is not expensive. You just need some basics, which again are your cleanser,
toner, could be toner, your moisturizer, and your sunscreen. For some people, just the cleanser, the moisturizer, and sunscreen. The ones with very sensitive skin, so you might just do with that.
Thank you very much. Before you know it, you're out of time. Indeed, we're out of time because it's 27 minutes past 8 o'clock and we need to wrap this up. But if there will be any final word of recommendation, advice, going by your experience, or the things you would like to get to people out there as touching skincare product overuse, what would it be?
So I would say that in the first place, before even commenting or starting a skincare routine, I think that it's important you consult your dermatologist before that, so I to identify the appropriate skincare, that is right for you.
All right.
Okay.
And do not forget your sunscreen.
Yes,
that is important.
Always have your sunscreen, one in your car, one in your bag. I try to keep them at different points. Yes. So that is, if I even knew earlier, I'm sure I would have told my mom as a child, Mommy, sunscreen. So we keep on emphasizing it, sunscreen.
We actually discussed we had a whole episode dedicated to discussing sunscreen at one time on Soul Food, and you can never overemphasize this thing. For what it is worth, going by what you have alluded to this morning, it means the education is working and people are paying more attention to their skincare, which is a good thing. But just in case you have never heard it before, please always include a sunscreen. And like she said this morning, you need at least SPF 30, right?
Yes.
And you can get as much as
50.
Yes. Okay. What about the PA plus plus plus?
So PA, you have to talk about the protection factor. PA plus plus, is it 30, 50, or just
so okay, so if you check a regular sunscreen that has SPF, at least the one I currently use is SPF 50 plus, then PA plus
it's still, provided it's SPF 50 plus, it's okay. Yes.
All right, and that's all we can take for today. Thank you so much for the education. Hopefully at least one person will take the education, or at least the information, to heart, and will be mindful of how much they use the product in their routine, and of course the correct routine. Did we mention that? Yes, we did.
Yes,
Okay,
we
yeah,
did.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much. We are done for today. Now, if people want to catch up with you on social media, are you active on social media?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so how can they do that?
So they can reach me at Cynthia ABA1. That's my Instagram handle.
Okay, do you want to spell that?
CYNTHIAEBIE1.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Skincare
welcome.
is very important. And use your sunscreen, people. Use your sunscreen.
Always.
On the other side, it will be time for the children from 8:40 till 8:55 to spell and of course learn one thing or the other, because Curious Minds is the name of the show, and it is for children between 6 to 15 years of age. So tell them to come around because it's always a great time with them. You're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Switch. Yo, this is Jimmy Close in the house. You're listening
Ooh,
to Smooth
thank you,
98.1.
thank you,
Welcome.
thank you. All right, so you said you wanted a picture. Where would you like to get a picture? You actually answered quite a number of the questions that to go, so there was no point asking over and over again. That was good. Thank you.